I'm good, Ruben. How are you, man?
I'm a huge fan. I mean, I don't want to call you old, but I mean, you're very important in my film life.
Oh man, thank you so much. It's like before Revenge of the Nerds and after. There's like that's a real milestone.
But that's also curious. Do you feel afraid that you've been tagged as a certain kind of actor? Because now I see you in a western, and it's just like surreal. Like, I mean, you're a great actor, and I
Oh,
think
thank
that's a
you.
difference in a great actor because you can escape from the tagging of one role and one genre.
Yeah.
How was this proposed to you? How do you landed in a role like this?
Oh, well, I'm very good friends with the producer, Patrick Durham, and he's been trying to get me in a film since the last time he got me in a film. And this one came along, and he thought, what a perfect I think it's a little more than a cameo, but not much. And he thought I'd be the perfect Bart, the local distillery.
Do you feel that you need to practice anything, any physicality? Because usually when we see Western, it's a character driven, character driven and also physicality. Do you have to practice? Do you have to interact with the crew before the shooting?
No, I was waiting around like you do on a movie set, and at some point they said, "Okay, you're up." And I think we rehearsed the dialogue before we were on camera because there was kind of a lot of dialogue in that scene, and we got the dialogue down, and then we shot it, and it was shot with one or two takes each setup, so it went well.
How do you feel that the industry has changed since you did this series? Because now we have all these superhero franchises, sequel, prequels, reboots. But you guys started all these. You guys started the successful sequences and the part two, part three, all with the same characters, but you guys show something different in every movie. How do you feel that the industry has shifted since the 80s until now?
Uh, well, in the 80s, they didn't make movies in 15 days. I mean, we took 8 to 10 months. I mean, 8 to 10 weeks to make a film, and it gives you time to breathe and the role to develop. A 15-day shoot is really fast, and there's no time for multiple takes. You have to be, it's like being on a Clint Eastwood movie. You got to get it on the first take because he's not going to give you a second take.
But do you think that's been the biggest difference? Because I feel that back in the 80s, even beginning of the 90s, we used to watch stories. Like we used to fall in love with characters. We used to fall in love with the situation they are into it. And I just feel that some of those feelings has lost with time. And I think that we are focused more in just show off things, show off with visual effects, show off with different things that you guys used to create before. Like you were worried about creating a character and the narrative of whatever is going to happen. Also, we now have the streaming, and I think that's a huge shift too.
Well, the thing about these superhero movies, for me, I'm not interested because they don't have story, and it's basically like watching a cartoon, and the visual effects is overwhelming. And I really prefer a good film with a good story. And I've seen a couple this year. I'm very pleased.
Which one has been your favorite? Because we just had the Golden Globe, we had Oppenheimer, we had Barbie. I don't know if you watched Barbie. Barbie reminds me a lot of Revenge of the Nerds. All
I
these characters, like goofy but serious.
No, I can totally see that. I'm a huge fan of Margot Robbie, so needless to say, I was first in line to see Barbie.
Like, which one has been your favorite? If you have the power to give it an Oscar to a movie, which one will be
Uh,
the most this year?
it's a combination between Poor Things and May December and Oppenheimer. Those are the three that really stick out to me. And Oppenheimer, being a tentpole type feature, really held up in terms of story, and the actors were great in it. I thought that Cillian Murphy did a great job.
I have found myself with so many people trying to explain May, December, and the feelings behind May, December.
Yeah.
And I think Todd Haynes is a great storyteller. Would you love to work with any of these directors and if they offer you a role? That would be so cool.
Oh, I know. Well, I've worked with Scorsese. I was the boy in Mean Streets that shoots David Carradine in the back in the bathroom. It was a memorable moment because it was completely out of the blue in the story.
You say they also, you mentioned Clint Eastwood and this first take thing that he has. And Scorsese is a guy who rehearses a lot. Have you find any director that like, I would love to see you with Tarantino because I know he can create great characters. Have you been like almost in casting of a great role that you just missed that you wanted to have?
Well, I was in Django Unchained, but it was a non-role. I was basically an extra, but at least I was on the set and I got to see Tarantino's work ethic. And he had poor Leonardo DiCaprio do this one take 10 times. And each time DiCaprio did it, it was perfect. I couldn't see why Tarantino kept going, but I think he was enamored by Leonardo's performance, and I think he wanted to see it in the moment over and over again.
And my last question is, you come from many years in experience in the industry, and how do you feel now that we're heading? Because I just came from awards, and I just say Poor Things. Poor Things to me is probably the most original film of this year. And do you believe that we have new creators? Because back in the 80s, 90s, and beginning 2000, we have these classic directors like Spielberg, like Scorsese, Brian De Palma. But now, like, I was watching these new directors' movies, and I'm amazed by the way they tell the stories. And do you feel that we have more now talent that we had before and that we had like 20, 30 years ago?
Yes, I think we have a wider net of very capable directors. I can't think of any that I want to work with besides Fincher at the moment. I would really love to be in one of his films, and Cuarón, I'd love to be in one of his films. But yeah, I think we have a wide field of very capable directors who can tell a story.
Robert, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And like I say at the beginning, you're a special part of my life.
Oh, thank you, Ruben. I really appreciate that.
I just wait that my daughter is a little older to show her this movie. There's it's something special that I want to share with her. And your movies are a part of those for sure.
Oh, thank you so much, Ruben. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
And I'm sorry because I'm at the airport and I was running, but
Okay, man.
here. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I really appreciate it.
Okay,
Thanks,
Ruben.
Ruben.